Hi, it's been a while since I've made a video, but I'm going to do one now because I just did I did a session with someone who's really kind of struggling with a lot of anxiety. And what happens is all of a sudden this person feels really good for a while, and she feels really, really good, and she figures, okay, that's it, I'm out of it, I'm cured, I'm healed. And what a lot of people, and that would be great if that was the case, but you see, anxiety is basically just a function of a lot of the neural circuitry in the brain. And when you start sort of changing the way you're thinking, you're basically changing literally the neural circuitry of your brain, the wiring of your brain. And I use the analogy of changing the course of a river. And if you ever did want to change the course of a river, well, you would get in there with some shovels, some big shovels, maybe with a big backhoe and a tractor, and you'd start moving earth in another direction, and slowly the water would start then going off into a different direction, to the point where all of a sudden then the water just flows naturally. And that's exactly the same thing with neurocircuitry of the brain. It's basically, it follows a certain pathway that causes a lot of the anxiety. And when all of a sudden we decide to make changes in the way we're thinking and to change a lot of the beliefs we have, well, it's just like diverting a river. It's diverting the neural pathway in the brain. But in the beginning, we're just basically trying to divert the river with a spoon, and you're going to be there for a long time. And it does, you know, you might divert a little bit of water in another direction, making you feel a little bit better. But you know, inevitably, you know, the old pattern just keeps flowing through. But you keep at it, and then pretty soon the water starts flowing a little bit more in the direction that you want it to flow. That's like the neurocircuitry of your brain starts flowing more in a positive direction and negative, beyond the fears, and you start to regain control of your life. So don't despair, because this is a practice. It's like going to the gym. And it would be nice if you could just go to the gym a couple of times and all of a sudden you're in top shape and you've got the body that you want and you don't have to go back to the gym anymore. But that's not the case. It's a practice. You have to keep it up. You have to learn how to do it. And to stay in shape physically, you have to keep it up until you die. And there are some people who really keep working out and exercising to the best of their ability until they die. And I remember was you know, as many of you may remember Dick Van Dyke, an actor in his 90s now in the States, and he's still very, very active, and he still moves with the, you know, the youth, like, you know, of a man who's half his age. And he just says, if you can't run, walk, and if you can't walk, crawl, and if you can't crawl, then just move something in the body. Just move, keep it moving. Well, it's the same thing with the mind. It's just keep changing things, and sometimes we're going to have to be aware of what our thinking is. If it's negative and it's fearful and it's angry or whatever, hundreds of times a day, and change it over and over and over again. And that's just like digging that spoon into the riverbed and changing the direction of the river, or of the neurocircuitry. It's the analogy that I like to use, and a lot of people seem to get that. So it takes time. It takes time, and some people are luckier than others. They all of a sudden get these awakenings that happen very quickly, but it's really rare. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing these people with these anti-anxiety programs that it's, you know, do this for 10 seconds a day, or do this, you know, in a 10-day or a 21-day program, often 21 days, and you'll be cured. Well, I've tried a lot of those things, and you know, I'm not saying that they're not worthy. I'm saying they are worthy. You can put them in your toolbox, you know, to fight and combat anxiety. But there are no quick fixes. And I wish there were. I really do, but there aren't. And so take care. Just remember. Now, the thing is, that can relieve a lot of your anxiety too, if you accept the fact that it's going to take some time, and it's going to be difficult at times. If you really accept that, a lot of the anxiety is going to go away, because you know where a lot of anxiety comes from? This anticipation. When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And you're creating extra stress for yourself. Everything happens in the present moment, and that present moment is just a new moment, always now. Now. That's it for now.